What's up, guys? It's Lavishly. I'm racing, and I'm here because I have a confession to make. As you guys may know, we are using a 2014 WRX on the channel, and we're building it, and it is also my personal and only vehicle. I broke it, but I didn't really break it. It had failure, which caused me to break it, and I'm gonna get into that. So after a few days of trying to digest what occurred with my car and, speak to the people involved with the situation and kind of find how to obviously fix the car. This car is my bread and butter. It's what takes me to work. So it makes me be able to do cool shorts and videos and stuff for Instagram and go to events and, kind of work with certain companies that sponsorships. So that, which, speaking of, Ignition Speed is one of our sponsors. Every time this car is down, kind of got nothing to show it off with, But I'm gonna bring this over to the car. I'm gonna go talk about it. All right. So as you guys may know, this is Sophie. This is our 2014 WRX. And as you also know, it ain't a normal WRX. And if you don't know, well, look at the previous video. So just to give you guys kind of an insight of why the car's been gone and why there was no videos. One, events have a lot of copyright. It's hard to record. Two, the car was still getting dialed in. I do have some numbers for you guys, but we'll keep it simple. So, this is our engine, and I'll let you guess where the failure is. It's with our engine. When we put this car together, it would smoke on startup, and we always thought, okay, it was a little strange, but built motor, piston ring clearances, and all that good stuff. All that science stuff that, if you're interested, comment down and I'll explain more. If you're not interested, keep it simple. Bottom line is that it was smoking, and the smoke was indicating that it was burning oil, especially on cold starts, a lot of it. But I didn't think too much of it because this was technically my first time having a built motor. But let's talk about the motor. The motor wasn't brand new. I bought the motor off of somebody who's in the Subaru industry and sells a lot of used parts and motors, and was known to be a trusty source. In this case, this is where I went wrong. I bought a used motor. I should have just built it fresh. This motor was previously in a, no joke, no fuck around Subaru wagon with a roll cage and, 6-speed, and was doing all kinds of crazy shit. But the motor did have under 20,000 miles. So it claimed to be, and was a fairly new motor. After doing some investigating while assembling, found out the short block itself, maybe not the internals, was about a 15-year-old short block. But, like you said, they could have refreshed the motor. Didn't think too much of it. The short block is built by Area 1320, and it has a stamp on it from 15 years ago. And the only reason why we know that is because my installer reached out to them and said, how old is this block? And they said they didn't stamp motors until 15 years ago, and now they actually just badge them. They don't even stamp them anymore. So that was red flag number one. Red flag number two was the smoking on startup. And then red flag number three was the car would get really pissy, especially, when returning to idle. It never wanted to raise idle. It also didn't like building oil pressure at idle. And I think you guys know where this is going. Me and the installer decided to upgrade the oil pressure pump from, I think it was an 8mm to an 11mm, and it was still struggling to build oil pressure at idle. It wasn't hitting target oil pressure. But once again, I needed the car done. We didn't think too much of it, and we rushed it. This is what caused the motor to fail, and this is the bottom line. My negligence, an old motor that was, not fully looked through before being sold, with compression numbers and leak down numbers that didn't kind of make sense, and it almost seemed physically impossible. But like I said, the guy was known as a trusty source. We didn't think too much of it. I'm not gonna blast the guy, none of that, because the bottom line is that it's my negligence. It's my fault. I should have spoke up. when coming back from Pennsylvania for my buddy's birthday, and I'll insert a clip of how that went. If you haven't seen the reels, there'll be a clip. The car was fine. You know, we did a little bit dabbling in the retuning area. Car was great. It was making about target boost of 22.4 psi boost or 23. It's absolutely insane. Car was hauling ass. When I got back to New York, for perspective, that is about, in total, 200-mile drive from his place back to New York. The car, Monday afternoon after going to work, coming home, do an oil pressure light. I turned the car off. I obviously added oil, but it was too late. She's got knocked now, which means I probably spun a bearing. With that being said, the car literally burned 3.5 quarts of oil in a matter of 200 to 300 miles. The total engine build as set up right now probably had about, from me, at most 2,000 miles, and that's me being generous. It never made it to its first oil change. What I did do was a drain and fill on it, because when we were tuning it, had a bunch of fuel from, you know, us bugging out, and we drained it, refilled it. But the bottom line is that this thing was losing a quart of oil every few times. It's absurd. It's a lot of oil consumption. And here we are now, going for a walk, TD Bank, to pull out some money so we can build another motor, which means the car is going to be down again. It is what it is. You know, you live and you learn. Lesson learned here was, obviously, if you see something wrong, speak up. Don't just ignore it. You know, put a band-aid on it. And don't buy used race car motors, you know? So if anyone is watching this and thinking about building a Subaru, learn from my mistakes. I do this stupid shit, so you guys don't have to. Yeah. But things that were really good about the motor, and really, sorry, my arm's hurting, really cool, is that it was built really strong. It was taking 23 psi of boost. It was driving out to 7,200 RPMs all day. No issues. The only thing that really would cry out for help was the transmission, obviously, because it is a WRX still. It has a stock 5-speed. It does have an upgraded clutch, flywheel, and pressure plate, but those 5 speeds can only hold but so much. But with that being said, I just want to be fully transparent, let you know where the car is going to be at. In case you haven't seen on Instagram, I will speak about it on Instagram too today. I've been pretty quiet about it so far. But if you guys have any recommendations as to what I should do next to the car, obviously besides the new motor, I'm going to try to record some of the process of building the new motor. And I'm working with a guy I really trust, and he's honestly a Subaru genius. So next motor is going to be built obviously newer and stronger, and we're going to do more crazy shit add to it, and maybe do some flex fuel and a 6-speed, and then we're going to do the big plans I have for this car in the first place. Now, topics off the car. Obviously, there's a very small group of you guys who watch me, and then there's Instagram and TikTok and all this other stuff where I do hold this platform. The platform is going to go into what I would call phase 2, where I really start to focus on, you know, the brand and things I want to do with it. So I have been getting a logo made, and I'm thinking about doing some merch and some stuff like that. Maybe some ambassador stuff. But more to come with that soon. That's really it today, man. It's a simple video of just pain and sorrow and honesty. So it is what it is. You live and you learn, and here goes another, you know, lump sum of cash that I don't want to talk about to build it again. Peace.
Again.